Because last session we have seen how actually what is the purpose and how what are the birth visions, why we need to remember the birth vision. So the purpose of the life is much more than just coming and enjoying. So all these things we have seen, right? So which is a very good profound knowledge. Now here today we are talking about opening to the knowledge. Opening to the knowledge, usually how we can open to the knowledge, where is that knowledge actually? Because after going through all this wisdom sharings from all these years, right, where do you think that knowledge lies?
Within us.
Within us. Okay, so to know that knowledge that is within us, so we are always in the conscious of I'm the body. I'm Prasanna or so and so. I'm working as here. My designation or my the way that I'm working on the work I'm identifying with that. Else I'm identifying with my body or whatever that I'm doing. Right, but so here, which means that we are in the body consciousness. As long as we are in that body consciousness, we are so dense. We are having all kinds of low vibrations and which we are not able to ascend or which we are not able to get the knowledge that is already there within us. So if we want to get the knowledge that is there with already within us, we need to be at the vibrating at the higher frequencies, at the higher levels. So then the knowledge which is there within us, that conscious level, we should be conscious of our consciousness. That's the thing where you can do that. So here, James went into the different dimension and he saw that birth visions of Maya, birth visions of Dr. Williams or somebody who is immediately after death, how they are actually reviewing their life, all the things he saw, and suddenly he falls back and he sat on a rock. What happened before he went into that particular thing? He is having a ankle sprain. Do you remember ankle got sprained and Maya put that bandage and went back to her clinic. That's what happened, right? So after he had all these visions, because he went to the lake or whatever the lake that he has had it, then from there he went to that higher visions and he is able to see that. And then he came back with that some damn thought of like fear or anything. Remember, whenever we are having that fear or jealousy or some kind of low vibrations, right? The moment you are having those kind of low vibrations, you will become dense and you will be vibrating at very lower level. Okay, that's where here also the moment some fear comes into his mind and he just came back to that flat rock that is there, and he started he is back into that moment, and he is there is a now there is a sky was kind of a threatening rain kind of thing, water flow was past, and he raised on his elbow and he noticed immediately he was heavily fatigued and he left from the other dimension to the normal dimension that he is in, right? So he came back to that dimension. Okay, clumsily he got up on on his feet. Then he noticed that there is a pain in his ankle and he is limped back into the forest. From that water place to back to the forest, he came back and he uncovered his pack and he prepared some food, and he's moving very slowly, slowly, and he ate the food, and surprisingly he felt like so blank in his mind, like after a long meditation, how you feel like there's a blank mind, right? That's how he became. He slowly began to increase his energy. So how he, by holding his deep breaths, he increased his energy. Suddenly he started hearing that hum sound again. So that hum sound, whenever, because as soon as he started listening that hum sound, right, he started some other image is coming into the mind. Okay, he is walking to the east direction, where that sound is coming, right? He is walking there. He was the thought, right, that hum sound, the thought of horrifying, what if somebody is doing the experiment, what if somebody is in danger, some kind of that horrified sound, horrified thought that comes immediately, that hum sound got vanished. Okay. He's just like normal leaves, that leaves sound and all those things he is seeing. And with a jerk he saw the Maya is there, because Maya, who left last night, she came back. And then he asked, "Oh, you always show up at the right time, or what? What do you mean by I show up at the right time? Are you crazy? I came long back. I have looking for you everywhere, and you are not there." Then this guy said, like, "Oh, I'm in that where is that, the water, right? The stream of the water is there. So I'm down by the stream. No, you are not there. I went there and I saw you. You are not there. That's what, because she came already and she's looking for James, but he went into the different dimension, right? Because of that, she is not able to see. So how is the uncle? He said, I managed. He managed. He said, I managed and I'm fine. He wanted to tell, because Maya's birth vision he saw, and Maya's life purpose he saw, right, in that, and Maya's soul group also he saw in the other dimension. So he wanted to tell, he was so interested to explain all those things. There is something strange, that like a kid, right, there is something strange that happened, Maya. So I wanted to tell you. And also these forest service agents. Then Maya is telling, I also want to tell you something, that this forest service agent saw me while I am walking down last night. I told them about your situation and they may be coming to you. I told a general location, not a particular location, but I gave them a general location of him. So they promised me that they will come and check on you. That is what they said. Wait a minute. They may come probably any minute. Then we need to go. That's what she's saying. Wait a minute. Tell me what is happening. Tell me what is happening. So then he started, right. So it is there is because meanwhile he is also telling the experiment what is happening, what you said. Then she said, oh, they are doing some kind of experiment here in the valley. I think my friend Shalin is also somehow is a part of this experiment and maybe in the danger. I don't know who approved this, whether the forest officials have approved secretly, or some private agency is doing it, this kind of experiment. I don't know. Okay. He picked up his pack. He packed all his thing. He picked up and they started walking. Okay, they started walking. Please come. I need to tell you everything. Then she nodded and she went. I told her the whole story of like meeting the David and meeting the Will there. And seeing that Williams, who just died, right? Seeing the Williams and his life review, what happened there, and the part of her, the birth vision, like her Maya's birth vision, all the things she is saying, you are involved in this too. You are also involved in this too. Obviously, you already know that your life is supposed to be introducing some alternative medicine techniques of healing, that I know. So you already know this. You know you are intended more than this, not just the healing technique. You are intended more than this. This group, the Williams group, is also coming together. Will and I saw your birth vision. So that's what he was excitingly. He is telling. She shook her head and she's closed her eyes. Okay. Maya, each one of us come to here with some vision, means with some purpose, how our lives can be, what we want to be, the intuitions we have, the dreams and the coincidences, all are designed to keep up our right path. Because whatever the path that we came here to keep up that right path, all these visions are coming. So they are trying to bring back our memory why we came to this earth planet. So this is how it works. Then so what else do I want to do? No, I don't know exactly. I could not get it, but it has something to do with a collective fear that is rising in the human consciousness. So he said, I don't know, remember exactly, but there is something that we need to do, the collective fear, because we are all having that fear, right? That fear is the one that it is stopping to rise the human consciousness to the next level. So if we all can deal with that fear, What is the fear? Usually the fear. What is the fear that every human being is having? We may die. We may not get sufficient resources for doing that. So this kind of fear, right? So because of that fear, collective consciousness is not increasing. So we have to tackle with this fear. The experiment is a result of this particular fear only. Maya, you intend to do something to do than physical healing, right? What happens in the valley, you should be doing something, some solution to remove this fear and increase that human consciousness. Something you have to do it. Remember your life purpose. He's saying, she stood up and looked away. No, don't put me all this responsibility on me. I don't remember any of this. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do as a doctor. Okay. It was a kind of instigate. I don't understand. I hate it. I don't like it. Finally, after all these years dream, finally I set up a clinic. You can't expect me to do involve in all these things. So I think you catch up a wrong person. I don't do this because because of her dream, right, to set up some kind of healing, some kind of the clinic. She just did it, and somebody coming and say your vision is more than that. She don't want to listen any of that. Then she started hearing again the sound, hum sound again, right? Can you hear that sound, Maya? He's saying. Maya tried to listen, but she doesn't. She tried to listen, but she is not listening. She This guy, the James, hold the shoulders of that Maya and said, try to listen, because why he hold the shoulders means he is trying to give the energy. He is trying to raise the energy of that Maya also. Then she pulled away. No, don't touch. She pulled away and said, no, I'm not hearing anything. Then he understood what mistake, because the other gender, he put it, he kept this thing, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was not. It was not supposed to happen this way. Okay. Then she said, "Do you want me call anybody, like investigate this one, because I already talked to sheriff department in the forest services, so they may come. They may help you. I hope you understand." She's saying, "I just can't involve in this. I feel so horrible. What would have happened? So I don't want to involve in this." So she is saying this, right? And so, do you remember? She still is trying to ask, because in the 19th century something happened. He saw the vision of the birth vision of the Maya and how she died in the previous 19th century, right? That and all he remember, right? So she's asking. So, do you remember 19th century? What happened? Can you remember the? Can you what happened to this valley? Can you remember this? She closed her eyes and again, no. I don't want to listen any of this, because she don't want to go back to the go back to the other thing, or before lifetime or anything, right? Suddenly he saw a clear image of himself in the buskins, running up in a hill and pulling the pack of horse, some mountain man kind of thing, right? He was a mountain man. That vision is coming to him. So he made his way, because he just leaving the Maya alone. He made his way to the uphill, and then he paused and glanced back to the rear. From there, he could see the falls of the George on the other side. There, the Maya and the Indian, the young congregational profession pulled the horse and walked in, and they went unable to avoid their fate. They went. Okay, so he shook off all the images, and it's okay. I said, giving up. I know how it feels. Maya walked closer. So that is the vision that he got it right. Here's some extra water. So Maya gave, here is some extra water, some extra food that I bought it for you. What are you planning to do it? I want to go ahead into the towards the south. Okay. I know Charlene may be going in that, because he came, the purpose is the very purpose that he came is he wanted to find out the Charlene, right? So maybe Charlene went into this side. So let me go in that direction. So he moved her feet, and I moved the closer and said, I haven't really thanked you. I didn't thank you. So whatever that you have done, so I thank you. So he packed his bag, his headset, and he glanced at the Maya, and she took, because he is starting walking towards the east, right? He started walking towards east, and he went back. Okay. Then he walked towards the sound of the hum. That hum sound is coming, and he's able to hear, right? So he walked towards that particular hum sound and streaming that left to passing only the rest of the footbed. He went. His ankle was swelling slightly, and he rested for a while, half an hour, and resumed his journey. And after started again because his ankle was already sprained. He couldn't walk much, and he rested again. Okay, he saw there is a thick woods that the edge of it, there is a thick woods, there is a landscape. He tried to take a back because he need to hide, right? Whenever he's doing that, he wants to hide, and he saw suddenly the other side of it. He saw one big tall man. He saw, initially he thought, is it a deer? But it is not the deer, it is a person. He waited for several minutes and carefully moved towards the north so that he will not see that person. That person will not see him. But apparently, after 5 minutes, that person came. He's too big and he came in front of him. In front of him. Suddenly, he saw and in front of him and came. Who are you? Why are you here? That guy is asking. It is too dangerous out here. What are you doing here? Do you know this is all private property? That's what that person is selling. Then this man, the James asked, okay, then why are you here? Is it your property kind of thing, right? So he's asking, why are you here? What are you doing here? That's what he questioned instead of just juggling. So he just asked back. Then he was silent because he was silent and he's staring at him. Then he remembered what David told him, right? There is a, are you the Curtis Weber? Are you the Curtis Weber? That's what he asked. The moment he asked, right, he was abruptly, he started smile. Oh, you know that David Lone Eagle, right? That's what he asked because maybe those people are working. David is the one he met in the here, right? In this when he comes here. Yeah, I only talked to him briefly, and he told me that you are coming to the valley, and I might find you. That's what he told me. Then Curtis nodded and looked up. Oh, it is getting late. Let's go out of the site and let's go up to my tent, and you can spend the night there. So they all went, and he also set up his tent. He followed down the slope and he covered deep covering with themselves with the trees, right? So he went and he pitched into the tent and they started. Okay, those they made some coffee and opened some sauce, and he also gave some food. That Maya gave some a pack of bread. So they had their dinner, and then they talked about how the Shalin has disappeared and how the David has seen her in the hiking the valley. And maybe you know her too because you are so. What has occurred to the other dimension? They all talked about that how he went to the other dimension, what he has sound, and what is this humming sound, right? Is happening the hum that he responded. The hum you're talking, okay, yeah, coming from the energy generating device. This hum sound is coming from energy. So here, let us focus a bit more on some kind of revelation we all may be having it here. The hum sound, what he is explaining, it's a spiritual importance. It is coming from the energy generating device. Okay, someone is experimenting here for some reason. So what does it do? I know whether this experiment is being conducted by some secret government agency or a private group, that I don't know. But there is something that is going on here, some experiment. What is that? The fact is that not everyone hears this hum. Only few people can hear the hum. So that is again the problem. Why not everyone is actually hearing the sound? If I just know where they were counting so they are saying this is a count private land. Somebody is saying the national forest, and there are 10,000 sackers are there where they could might be, and they are conducting this experiment. How what they are happening? Are they doing any harm? Are they doing to avoid any tragedy? What do you mean by that actually? So they totally they could totally ruin this place. That's what they are saying, is they could totally ruin this place. Who could totally ruin this place? Whoever is conducting this experiment, why they do want to ruin this place? So all these are the questions that are coming. So they want to make this valley like another Bermuda Triangle. Okay, the laws of physics, which is unpredictable flocks, right? So they wanted to make this place, whoever comes this, they will disappear, they will not come, something that they wanted to use all this kind of the laws in the physics. the things that they know, how they are incredible. So the people have no idea how complexity this electromagnetic phenomena. It is very complex, very powerful. They doesn't know that. It emanates across the 9 dimensions. Just that the math work, this electromagnetic force is working through the 9 dimensions. The device has such a potential through disrupt these dimensions as well. It can cause a massive earthquakes, and it can completely do the physical disintegration of certain areas too. How do you know all this? Because he is that Cortius is explaining this, and James is asking, how do you know all this? Because a decade of 80s, in the decade of because in the decade of 80s, I helped to develop some kind of this technology. I was an employed in a multi corporation or multinational corporation here, where the name was a Deltec, and so I worked there. So have you heard about the Nicholas Tesla? So we know some of the technologies that he has done, all the things, right? So he's explained the Nicholas Tesla theories, whatever the theories that and his discoveries and his technologies, right? That company has supplied these people, this Deltec company has to develop those are developing those technologies. So the funny thing is this technology is consisting of several dissimilar parts. Basically, it works in a different blocks, because that company never has integrated or never let others know that integration. Only certain department works only in this particular place, certain department only works in this place, in this space, something kind of thing. That superconductive generator, which is actually trying to do this electromagnetic energy, this electromagnetic feed, which can cross the dimensions and get that energy. And with that energy, what they can do, right? That is what they are trying to do it. How we can amplify this energy, how we can amplify this generating that charge, right? So how these calibrations can expect, how that virtually free energy can do this immediate space, and the small amount of the power, how it can actually do that, like a photo cell or a battery, how it can do all the things that they are experimenting in. However, so there is a so they are generating a mini generators kind of thing, which is unbelievably complicated generators, where where they will come across, or they will connect with these large computers that existed at that time, and increase the output. With that, they can increase that output, enlarge the massive displacement. This generator will can become unstable and become the wrap also. We are tapping this energy. So with this, what they are doing, this electromagnetic waves, and with this all these generators that they put, they are trying to tap that energy from the other dimension. That is what they are doing this experiment in this particular valley. Okay, so this generator, we have made the whole generator disappear, because through their experiment they made that whole generator disappear at that place and appear again in another place. I'm not remembering exactly the term. We have this technology in this thing, right? If anyone remember, you can tell me, or chart. It's not top of my mind. In the Sanskrit words is also there where you can just make the disappear that places at one place, and then can move into the another place, where you can move the things from one to another by while you are actually seeing it also. So these are all the things. Even our yogis and rishis has practiced the meditation, and they are able to do that. So this kind of thing that
Anima, Garima, Siddha.
Anima, yes, Garima, those things. Exactly like that. They have done some experiment in the Philadelphia experiment. That's what they are saying. That in 1953, they did it. Because I didn't Google. I didn't get a time to Google. But they are saying that they made that whole ship disappear. Okay, and show up again in a new location in 1943. That's what they did it. It seems the experiment. You all can Google it, or I can learn more about it, and I can tell you the next class also. Of course, they did it. There is a lot of secret technology that is around, that is available around. So we are in the, but the team was shut down in a month. All of them got fired, and we all because they all let go the things, and they never know like what are the different parts of the research that they did, right? Because each team worked in different technology. So I thought it was the end of the dead research. That research was ended there. That's what I thought. But later I came to know that all these employees were hired by the different company and the research continues or something. I know I wanted to do something else anyway because I don't want to do that kind of thing. So he didn't go there. I'm a consultant now with a small technology firms where I will advise how the research efficiency and how the disposal of waste sort of thing, right? That kind of thing he is working on. So I convinced that these insights, that whatever the insights that celestial prophecy, the thing, first insight, second, ninth insight, right? It is very effective, and it has an effect on economy. It has an effect of the business shifting. Everything it has an effect. It works in a traditional powers for a longer run. So I know that the thought of energy experiments in the years until I moved into this area, right? I didn't think of it because in those days, 80s, I thought of it, but I didn't think later. But now again, I'm seeing this valley are doing some kind of that kind of experiment. Because of that only, this characteristic hum sound is coming. That I heard every day for years, that when we were working on the project, when we are working in 80s, every day I used to hear that project, that hum sound, right? Someone continuing the research, because when I say hear that sound here, I am feeling that someone is continuing that research, judging some resonances so much better that we are here, right? So something they are doing it. Maybe some congregational committee is there. I found maybe they wanted to close this valley. Maybe they wanted to dismantle this valley. Maybe they wanted to make this valley as another Bermuda Triangle. I don't know, because all this is his thoughts, right? Since then, I have been there listening. I have been there listening to this hum sound. So I'm experimenting. Some laboratory would have been that energy source or a space, because the entire space is energy. That too, when in the nature, that energy is much more, right? You can see that much more, the power of that. That is why you feel that a lot of energetic when you went to the mountains, or a lot of energetic when you spend into the nature. That's what, when the space is an empty space, that energy, the calibrations, the vibrations, you can see more, and that amplification will work on you. So they are trying to amplify that kind of energy, the energy vortex they are trying to build, they are trying to see in this valley, and they are trying to stabilize the process. This is what maybe they are doing. What crazy, he is feeling, was so angry. They're doing it crazy, it is all unnecessary. Why are they doing? They do no reason. They are utilizing this technology in the small units, and they are doing. It is not the perfect way of using it. I know. I can see there are some dangers of you doing this valley. They can totally wreck this valley. They can make this so much worst. They are trying to focus the interdimensional pathways. Who knows what might have happened? Then, do you know what I'm talking about? He asked. He stopped in between and he asked, do you know what I'm talking about? What is this interdimensional pathways? Because our James already went into the different dimension, and saw after death what is the life review, and he saw the soul groups, all the things, because he can easily connect whenever we say that interdimensional pathways and the pathway of the one dimension to the another, he can easily get it, right? So he started for a moment, and then said, God, I have to tell you that I have been experiencing in this valley. You may find it unbelievable. So then, until then, he never told about all these things. He told about, try to tell about Maya, but not to the courteous. But now, because as the topic came, he is telling that he nodded patiently. He described about how he made that will, and how he exploring the parts of the other dimension. When I came to the life review, right, the friend of yours who said, you said your friend was died recently, right? Who is that friend? Is that the name Williams? He asked, because he just now, the previous day, he went and saw that Williams life review, right? He asked, yes, he's a Dr. Williams. How do you know that? Do you guys remember? He is an MIT guy who just died, and he came and he is doing his life review in the other dimension, right? That is the guy. So I saw his life. We watched. As he is experiencing his life review, he appears like a shaken. What? You went to the other dimension? It is hard to believe. I believe that there is a probable existence. There may be probable existence of the other dimension, but as a scientist, the ninth insight itself is very harder for me to internalize internally. Not able to communicate the people after the death. How can you went? I cannot even think of it. He continued to tell him about the Williams, the realization and the courteous he was supposed to be involved in resolving the fear. So ultimately, the everybody, even there also, they are trying to understand how to resolve the fear in this human consciousness. That is what everybody is thinking about, right? I don't understand. What do you mean by talking about growing in the fear? I don't know what exactly that you are talking. What is that with certain population refusing to believe, right, that new spiritual awareness is emerging instead of thinking the human civilization is degenerating. So we all thinking that, oh, human generation is like spoiling a instead of thinking that, he's saying the human generation is actually coming up, it is emerging. Human culture is emerging. You can't evolve until the polarization is ended. I was hoping that you might remember something about it. He looked at me blankly. I don't know anything about this polarization. I'm going to stop this experiment. I will. Williams seems to be understand the process of stopping it, because Williams, who is in the other thing, he's saying Williams know how to stop this experiment. So because he was a pure soul now, right? So he's able to do that, what mistake that he has done when he was here, all the things, right? So he saw again an image, because our James has saw an image of that Curtis and Williams, they are talking on the hilltop. Suddenly he's talking. So he took the courtier served our food, still appearing upset. But they finished eating, and later they are stretching their hands and legs. And then he glanced up the hill, the grassy hill, right? So can we walk up to the hill? Because he wanted to take him to the hill. Because remember, whenever he went to some kind of a high place, some rock or some kind of hill, some that where some kind of a portal, when he is able to go into the different dimension, and he is able to connect to the different kind of the dimension knowledge. And also he is getting that intuition, he is able to see the visions, what is happening also, right? That and all is also he is able to see. I don't know. I don't know what, because whatever that he is saying, right, he is not able to comprehend the things. I don't know whatever you are saying. Why don't you come up to the hill? Why don't you come up to the hill? Then he is asked, why don't you come up to the hill? Let's go and see what is happening there. Okay. The idea was count me in. Okay, let's go. If you want me to see, let's go. They were dead and they went. So commencing that, they went and saw that there is a beautiful trees, shrubs as they are walking. Curtis went and led the path to that slope, right? He went to the top of that head. In spite of that fading light, they could see that almost a quarter mile towards the north to east, they saw some direction, better sit down. So went to the hill and they saw, okay, better we'll sit down. So they are admiring the beauty of it, and they are feeling a lot of energy. Whenever you are admiring the beauty of the nature, so that's where you can feel that energy, right? Curtis took the flashlight in his pocket, and he saw the ground, and he just mesmerized by the colors of that fall foliage. And they just sat there. So suspecting they're suspecting some kind of the forest fire, and they sniffed the air, because this guy, like whoever is there, right, the courteous, he is able to smell some kind of smoke smell. Okay, he is smelling, so he is thinking that there could be some kind of what do you say, the forest must have been like on fire or something like that. No, no, but he is not. What kind of the smoke you are actually hearing? He is feeling that that kind of smoke is like a cigar smoke. He's feeling that kind of a cigar smoke. But he is not able to say. They suddenly became, because he is asking the James also to see. Then he also started feeling that smoke. So he caught on my, because he is seeing the vision also, because James is also able to see that vision, right? Then he remembered that Dr. Williams, he is smoking the cigars. Okay. And suddenly he also remembered, the courtiers also remembered, oh, I'm feeling like this is the smoke smell of the Dr. Williams. He used to smoke the cigars. So, which means that he's able to feel the presence of Dr. Williams. Because Dr. Williams, who worked with the courtiers, he tried to communicate to this guy something. Because whatever that the fear that is actually blocking to raise the human consciousness, he found out some solution. He wanted to communicate to this guy, so that is why he is trying to come. The cell was but uh, because of the intuitions, James is able to see the vision, but he is not able to, because he was not willing to accept the fact also, right? So he's not able to see that one. Okay. So the smell disappeared. He observed that James observed there is a figure, the foaming figure, right? The soul is coming like kind of the white foam forming kind of the thing between the trees. Do you see anything over there? He quietly asked the courtier by pointing the direction, right? Courtier said, I don't see anything, because he is not able to see anything. I didn't see anything. Somehow, but he's saying somehow I began to receive some intuitive messages. So exactly I don't know because let me tell you, because James is the one who is telling. I began to receive some kind of intuitive messages. I'm receiving some kind of the knowledge from the souls group, but except that there should be some connection that I'm trying to grab, and I'm trying to understand that, right? So I could sense that there is some energy experiment is going on. So whatever that Courtius is telling, right? Yes, I'm sure there is some kind of energy experiments that are going on here. So there is some dimensional vortex. That opening of the dimensional vortex is there. I just remembered. Courtius said abruptly, yes, I just remembered. One of the devices that Dr. Williams is working on is years ago is remote focus. Remote focus, a dish projection system. What is the dish projection system? The dish is focusing on the openings of the vertex. What is the openings? Openings of the one dimension to the another dimension. Where are those openings? There is a no, right? So where this is what actually the doctor Williams is doing it. Immediately he perceived an answer. That highest awareness is pointing them out until they learned the spatial variances and showed up the remote focus computer. I have no idea what is that meant. So there is something that until this spatial thing, once they focus, right, they can access that remote thing. Sorry, guys. Remote thing, and they can able to focus on the vortex, or they can able to do this. That's what they are actually trying to do, sir. These people are vicious, no doubt they are doing something wrong, because this guy is always in the fear, Courteous, right? So he is saying something. So the fear, no, this Williams means the James is trying, no, Williams is trying to say something. You have some fear, we have to overcome that fear, we have to find out what is that the thing, right? What is that consciousness we need to, I wish I know why the fear is coming up now. He said, I don't know why that fear is coming up now. Because there is a transition of the culture. Always when there is a transition in the culture, so old certainties, old formalities will go back, and new things and new traditions will evolve. So whenever that old to new is going at, that old traditions who are following will be in the fear that they will be going. Because of that only, in the Celestial Prophecy, the first book that we learned, so all these churchmen was so much, oh, that God duality will be gone. When we say this, you are that supreme consciousness, you are the divine energy, that the thing will be gone. Oh my God, then nobody will listen to these churches. Because of that, they are trying to hide these insights, right? So here also there is a shift is happening. Whenever there is a shift is happening, the previous people will be in like kind of, oh no, we don't want that kind of, right? So they polarize if the fear or the dangerous of the fearful people, the rationalization, all the things will come up. I was all saying that I felt that I was explaining, because all this was explaining by the Williams to the James, because intuitively all that is coming up. And he is trying to explain to the courtiers. I understand that. Courtiers said, certainly, I understand that. That's why the people are so willing to waste this valley. That is why they want to waste this valley, because this valley may be giving that openings to the other dimensions, are doing the things. Some of the people, that old tradition people, want to waste this valley, and they want to seize, and they don't want to happen it. Maybe it is they want to demolish this. Then he was looking, don't worry, I will figure out why. Because yeah, he also saw that there is some kind of within his legs and all, right, there are some kind of material which is helping to which help to exploit, right? That kind of material is also there with the courtiers. He was so, oh, are you trying to demolish? Don't worry, I will not hurt anybody, so I will not kill anybody. If something is happening, I'm ready to do something back to them, not to demolish, but I will not harm anyone. That's what he's giving an assurance. I don't know what exactly is happening here. He was so fighting, so fearful, right? So we are supposed to don't do that. We are supposed to remember our birth visions. We are supposed to remember, and also from birth visions, we need to go to the world vision. Not our birth vision is the one, that what we are supposed to, why we came to this earth, what we are to do, and also the world vision. What is the world vision? How we can align with the world vision. World vision, Cartius was pondered, because he also heard this word somewhere. I think David Lone Eagle, he mentioned about it. Yes, that's right. Because the same David was mentioned that world vision to him also. So that is the purpose. That is the human race purpose. The birth vision is the purpose of you, why you came to this earth. The world vision is the entire human race vision. So we all have that common vision as well as our personal vision. So some vision, right? So we need to have that kind of, we need to bring the bridge with the level of love, with the level of energy. We need to have that kind of the thing. Then we can go. Then once we understand our purpose, and once we understand the world purpose, then we will be able to level up, and we will be able to evolve with our energy levels. We can able to get rid of the fear, and then we awaken. We can do that preoccupation, whatever that preoccupation. We are all preoccupied every day. We say we are so busy, which means that we are preoccupied without knowing what is our purpose. We are not even having the time to know what is our purpose. We are such a preoccupied sources. For several moments they sat silent. Maybe they wanted to bring up their energy, right? So at what time, Bhavani, we need to stop?
We can go 5 more minutes. We went like, yeah, then after this, we will start meditation. Yeah.
I'll stop 5 minutes. So they started hearing the hum sound again. Well, they are trying to increase the energy, the hum sound again. So the hum is linking the dissonance between small generators, right? And calibrates. So the more grating, the more disharmonious, right? So this hum sound is the one which will open. So if you see, right, because here, even if you see, because I'm doing the research on this om sound, right? Because of that, I learned so many things. Even in the ma, that sound, when you are making it, right, that is where here is also that ma sound. Whenever you are going that sound, that is where you are connecting from one portal to the another portal. That's where you are connecting to the one portal to the another portal, where you can get the knowledge. That's what here also he is saying. So even with your own experiment also, that even in the during the COVID times, that Brahmari Pranayama is the one that everybody asked to do it, right? Because the Brahmari Pranayama is like closing all these organs, especially if not only closing these things, cortilacs, and then making sound. If you're making that, you will see that vibration of your body. Ah, oo, ma. What exactly is happening when you are saying ah from your abdomen, oo from the chest, and ma from the thing, right? You are actually activating all your chakras from Mooladhara to Sahasrara. all the chakras will get activated, because with that ma sound itself, all the thing. Here also they are saying that with hum sound, you are actually connecting from the one dimension to the other dimension. That energy flows, that knowledge flows. Ultimate meditating experience. You all actually meditating. We all meditating after this session, right? For the full moon meditation. Try to go to that kind of silence. Try to go that I am making my own research experiment, like making them, all of them, like at least do like 21 times that avuma sound, and then go to the meditation, right? So whenever you are doing that, that avuma sound is already happening in your body. Whenever you are making with your uh, consciously with your mouth, you are actually aligning with your body. Whenever you are aligning with your body, you will not, your mind will stop working. The moment your mind will stop working, the intuitions will start and the knowledge will be opened up. That is what exactly he's talking about here. That hum sound is actually connecting between these dimensions. It is opening up the knowledge beyond this, beyond that thing, right? I could imagine. So if you are close target of that location, whenever we are close, that they are able to hear that hum sound. It is the static electricity in the air. The hum sound is that static electricity that is there. So when they are in silence, they could hear that faint sound, and merely that vibration they could feel it. They felt that he felt that his ear was rising in the arms and neck, because the Williams is trying to come and communicate something, but Curtius, who did not believe or who did not know, have that kind of knowledge, right? He was so fearful. He was fearful with the horror. What is going out here? He's trying to grabbing the flashlight. Suddenly, he's actually going down to the down to the valley. He was just rolled silently. He was rolled out somewhere, and there is some kind of explosion kind of thing. Dust and debris are there. They stopped it. He went there, and suddenly he stopped it, because our author is also closed the eyes, because when he cannot do much, right, he just closed his eyes and he stopped it. Later we will, because we couldn't complete this, we will see this, how they are opening up this knowledge into when they, what happened, right? And I'll summarize after all the thing. I'll summarize like how we can opening up this knowledge into the next class. But for now, because every one of us will be doing a long meditation, try to, with this knowledge, that whatever you have, try to go into that level of silence, go to that kind of the thing, right? Where you can open up that knowledge. Actually, we are reading this in the books or something, because we are not going there inside us. Try to go in silence, try to go complete blank mind, and try to see what intuitions that you are getting it, right? Sometimes when you are practicing it, because of the research, I'm doing morning, evening, that kind of the thing, right? Sometimes I feel like I'm seeing more things when I'm closing my eyes than opening my eyes, because opening my eyes, when whatever that we are doing is preoccupied things, right? We have to do this, we have to do this Monday, we have to do Tuesday, I have to do this Wednesday, I have to read this book Thursday, I have to read some kind of preoccupation that we are doing it. But when you're closing the eyes, that kind of the knowledge that you will be getting it, once you started that intuitive knowledge, the fear will be gone. The fear of that might happen, this might happen, that fear. So the moment you lost that fear, that consciousness, the vibration, the higher consciousness, you will be vibrating it. Try to doing, because this is the more powerful days, these 3 days. So try to do that, and we will meet in the next session.